fractions. So we're going to look at a very simple problem. There are 20 telephones below. Find 3 over 5, 3/5 of 20 telephones. So what does that mean? Okay, so as you can see, you can divide it into 5 parts, right? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? If they say 3/5 means 3 of the 5 parts. Does that make sense? So in that case, you can see that's exactly, so you do 20 divided by 5 first, which is 4 in each column, and then you do 4 times 3. So actually 12 telephones, if that makes sense. So 12 telephones, so you divide into 5 parts. As you can see, 5 parts. Each part has got 4, and you only take three parts. Okay, good. So now we're going to do the first question. So now we have a rule to do that. So whenever you do a fraction of quantity, is to divide that quantity by the denominator and then times by the numerator. Yeah, there could be other ways, but that's one way to interpret it. And then you understand how it works. So 5 times 2. I do want you to show some working, how to get the answer 10. Not just go, oh, look at it, oh, that's 10. You should show some working. Next one, same thing, 50 divided by 10, right? Times by 3, 5 times 3 is 15. Yep, pretty straightforward. All right, that's a fraction of quantity. You can understand it visually, right? What if you time fraction by fraction? That's a bit hard to visualize. So what I'm going to show you, again, that's in the textbook, how to visualize the multiplication of 2 fractions. Okay, so all right, so we're going to show you. That's one way to interpret it. There's other ways. So let's see how that works. So what we do is 1/3. So that's 1/3, right? Because that's 1/3. Right, that's 1/3. You divide a big rectangular bar into 3 parts. Right, that's 1/3 each. So originally you start off with a big one. You divide into 3 parts. Right, that's 1/3. We're going to find 2/5 of 1/3. 2/5 is, that will be 2/5, right? 2/3. That's 1/3. So we only take 2/3 of a third. So 2/3 of a third. What would that be? That would just be this bit, right? So that's 1/3. 1/3 times 2/3 gives you this. If that makes sense. So the answer is actually 2 over 9. Right? Because that's 1/3. And out of the 1/3, you take 2/3 of it. If that makes sense. So you get 1/3 first and 2/3 of what's remaining. Right? So let's repeat that again. That wasn't well explained. Let me try again. So 1/3 is this. That's 1/3, right? The whole bar is 1/3, including the white bit. Right? So let's use a highlighter. So the highlighter blue, right? That's 1/3. And from that 1/3, we cut 2/3 of it. So 2/3 of it will be this bit. And that becomes dark. You can't see anything. Yeah, does that make sense? Which means, and out of the total, there's only 2 out of 9. 2 out of 9. Okay, so that's complicated. Now, we're not going to do that each time. That's a way to visualize multiplication of fractions. So now what we're going to do is to do the multiplication. So watch this. 1/3 times 2/3. You can see the 2 over 9 appear in that fashion because all you have to do is to multiply the denominator and the numerator separately. Looks like it's much easier to add fractions, right? So when you multiply, it's much quicker. Numerator times numerator, denominator times denominator. I think that's how it works. Let me see. 1/3 times that. Yeah, does that make sense? All right, let's use that as a rule. So that's the rule. In symbol means this. That's the rule I just displayed. A over B times C over D equal to A times C, B times D. Does that make sense? Okay. If possible, simplify, divide, cancel fractions before multiplying. So how does it work? And canceling can be done vertically or diagonally. I will show you how that works on the next page. All right, any question before we move on? Raise your hand. Let's move on. Okay, I'm going to do this question, example 2, in two ways. The first way is you just multiply, right? That's very straightforward. And 4 times 9, 36, 24, right? And then you have to simplify. So how do I simplify? I think 12 divides into both. And that will give you 2/3, right? But I don't recommend this because it's longer. Because the numbers will be big, you have to simplify. Let's do the simplify first before you multiply. How would that work? Well, if you pay attention, you will see exactly in front of your eyes. So you can simplify. What does that mean? Divide this by 3, you get 1. Divide this by 3, you get 3, right? We simplify. You can simplify vertically or diagonally. Any numbers on the top can simplify with numbers at the bottom. And that's not all. You can simplify this to divide that by 4, you get 2. Divide that by 4, you get 1. Not only that, the multiplication becomes much easier. Becomes 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 3 is 3. Does that make sense? You should try to use this method. I know this one is more straightforward, but it actually more work and more calculation. This is less calculation. So that's something you have to develop as a habit, and that will make you do work faster. So you should try to do this. And in fact, any example I do now, I will try to use method 2 first. Cancel, simplify before you multiply. Does that make sense? Raise your hand if you have a question. All right, let's try the first one. Let's simplify. Now you check. Not everything can be simplified. Yes. Yeah, that's right. That's a very good question. So let's just say this. Oh, can't that be 4 because you divide by 2? Divide that by 2, you get 2. That's very good, but you can simplify even further. So it may take twice to simplify. If you know what I mean, I'll still get the same answer. So you have to be simplified as much as possible. So when they say simplify, means simplify fully until you can't be simplified anymore. That's what that means. Okay, so let's look at this question. Can 2 be simplified with 3 and 5? The answer is no. Can 1 be simplified? No. So in that case, you just do 2 times 1 over 3 times 5. 2 over 15. Any question? Right. Yeah. You have to simplify. Yeah. Okay. 4 over 8. Of means times. So let's simplify both. So you will see that this one, you get 1 over 2. The other one is also 1 over 2. So the answer is 1 times 1 over 2 times 2. The answer will be 1 over 4. Any question? I know it gets a bit boring, but that's what you have to pay attention to. Seriously, can you stop? Did you write down all the questions? Did you write down the other question? Write down this as well. Okay, how do you multiply proper fraction by whole numbers? To do this, you do the same thing. You just write the whole number over 1 and see if you can simplify. In this case, you can. Divide 3 by 3, you get 1. Divide 21 by 3, you get 7. And in that case, you multiply the remaining numbers. 1 times 7 is 7. 1 times 1 is 1. Therefore, it's 7. Okay. Any question? Next one, 2 over 5 times 32 over 1. Okay, can it be simplified? 5 doesn't get into 32 and neither the other 2. So in that case, you do have to times the numerator without simplifying. And when you get an improper fraction, always a good idea to change it to mixed fraction. And how many 5 going to 64? I think it's 12, right? And 4/5. Hopefully I'm correct. I think I am. If it's incorrect, please let me know. Let's move on. Next one, multiply improper fraction. There's a lot of questions. But anyway, let's simplify. 5 times 7, 35. 6, right? Pretty straightforward. And how many 6 into 35? That will be 5. Is it 5? Yeah, 5 and 5 over 6. Yes? All right, next one. I'm going to ask a student, Harrison, can anything be simplified here? And tell me which one. Make sure you close your laptop right now. Next time I speak to you, you need to sit at the front. I think you're looking at something on your laptop, no? It's close. All right, can you pay full attention? Tell me which one can be simplified. 15 and? Yeah, which what? Yeah, so now, Harrison, if you don't mind, listen to this. It's going to help you. If you divide 15 by 5, you get 3. Divide 5 by 5, you get 1. Does that make sense? It's simplified like that. Diagonally or vertically. Anything on the top, cancel at the bottom. Okay, Julian, do you want to simplify the second bit? Which part you can simplify? 1, yeah. Okay, I just want to interrupt you. Look, the power of paying attention. You actually learn something. I know you may know this. You may prefer the first method without cancelling, but it will really help you in the long term. Does that make sense? You may still do well in year 7 tests, but you will do worse in future tests. I think, oh, I was good at math in year 7, and all of a sudden it didn't work because you didn't learn this method. Does that make sense? And later on, when you have algebra involved, algebraic fractions, you need to use that. Does it make sense? You can't just multiply. All right, make sure you pay attention on the board. Watch what I do. Next one, so you do 2 times 3 over 1 times 1, 6 over 1. And remember, anything over 1 is the number itself on the numerator. Hopefully it makes sense. Excellent. I love, in fact, one of my favorite topics is fraction. When I was in primary school, we learned that in primary school. And yeah, it's really good. It's really good. I like this topic. Next one. All right, 2 more questions. In mixed fraction. How do I do mixed fraction? Remember, the rule is, unlike when you're adding, you can do them separately. Say like this, you do them separately. Unfortunately, with this stuff, you can't do them separately. You have to turn it into improper fraction. That's the only bit I think that's harder. So make sure you change it to improper fraction. How do I do that? Watch this. Okay, Juliet, do you want to start us off? 3 times 2, yep, very good. Plus 1. Well done to the, he explained it very well. So 2 times 3 is 6, 6 plus 1 is 7. That's excellent. Next one, I'll just do the same thing. 5 plus 2 is 7 over 5. Okay, I'm going to ask another student a question. Jared, is there anything I could simplify? Can you see if there's anything that can be simplified? No, very good. So now what we have to do is we've got no choice but to multiply the numerator, which is 49 out of 15. Now what do we do next? We have to change it to what? Raise a hand. Sorry, I didn't ask you to raise your hand. Someone else? Xavier, what do I do next? Okay. Again, make sure you pay attention. If you're sitting at the back, it's a bit hard to see. Make sure you change it to mixed fraction. All right. How many? So can you tell me what's that in mixed fraction? I have a feeling you know the answer. Okay, good. I was thinking about 2. I got it wrong. Oops, thanks for that. Well done. That was good. All right. Okay, let's do the next one. How about this? You do the next one. Everyone, you do it. And then we'll go through it. Have you all done it? No. Can you have a try? Do this. Give you 1 minute. 1 minute. And once you finish, just sit quietly. Don't have to tell anyone the answer. I will randomly choose a person to do it. So you have to really look at what's going on and pay attention and make yourself accountable for once. All right. I'm going to scaffold it. That's going to look fun. Okay, scaffold. First step, I'm going to give you some clue. Improper fraction. That's good. Second one becomes one person. And the last one becomes something else. Okay. All right. It looks that sounds like a story. Okay. So And then last answer, I think I'm expecting a mixed fraction. It doesn't have to be mixed if it's a proper fraction, but if it's improper, change it to mixed. I'm sure the answers at the back of the book do the same because it's written by a math person, so they will think like me. Okay, gonna ask someone, first step, who want to tell me? Grant, what's the first step? Can you tell me the two improper fractions? Total of 5, did you say 15 or 5? 5, yeah, okay. I just need to double check. Perfect. Okay, second step. Oh, anything to, okay. Actually, that may involve more than one step. Sakura, can anything be simplified? Excellent. What would that be turned into? 1. Perfect. Another person. Harrison, next one. Which one can be simplified? Can you tell me what they turn into? Perfect. Julian, what do I do next? Yep. And the last step? Oh, it's called mixed room. Okay, cool. Well done. Sorry, I only picked on a few, but from now on, I may pick on other students as well. But that doesn't mean I just somehow, yeah. All right, well done. Any question? All right, yeah. Want to say any questions about this?